Hey guys, what's up? After a brief hiatus due to school, I'm back with a brand new series called Gank My Lane, and I've decided, due to several requests, to start with Lee Sin. Now before we jump straight into this guide, I'd like to go ahead and explain a little bit about what this series is about, being that this is my first video and all. This series is essentially a basic guide to detail how to play whichever jungler is actually being featured that week in the jungle. Now that brief description's over, let's go ahead and jump straight into the strengths and weaknesses of Lee Sin, the Blind Monk. Alright, so as a small disclaimer, these numbers are based on a rating system from 1 to 10, with 1 being extremely weak and 10 being exceptionally strong. The numbers came largely from personal experience and observation. Something else to note is that my stats are in comparison to other junglers as well, which means that this is essentially how I feel Lee Sin compares with other junglers in certain fields. Okay, so to start with, I rank his clear time at about a 7. His jungle clear is fast, yes, but not quite as quick as the likes of Phoenix, Udyr, or Shyvana. And this is largely because his one AoE spell deals relatively low damage unless you max it first, which is generally not recommended. And even though his passive grants you an attack speed boost, it's just not enough to clear faster than other junglers. Next, his counter jungling is at about a 6 for almost the same reason, because his highest damage spell is single target, because that's what you're going to be wanting to max first, Q I mean. It's really not safe to clear an entire camp. Instead, if you're counter jungling, simply take the most valuable neutral minion from each camp. For example, only take the blue wraith or the large lizard for the red buff if you don't feel safe in their jungle. And when I say if you don't feel safe, I mean if you don't have wards everywhere, teammates there to back you up, because even though Lee Sin is extremely mobile, he's also very squishy at early levels. You notice he has relatively low health, and even though he has sustain, he just has a small health pool. It's just good not to be caught out at this point. His dragon control and Baron control are so high because he can deal a huge amount of damage to both of them while also tanking it. This is because the second effective is Q, which takes 8% of the target's maximum health, and the sustain from the second part of his W. He can also take Dragon extremely early without triggering any river wards if you happen to be on the blue team. You can Q over the wall and it'll actually reach the Dragon, and at that point you can just take it by yourself. If you have Madreds or Wriggles, you're generally going to want Wriggles if you're going to do that. But it's so good because you can take it so early, and the other team support, if they warded that far in the river at all, will usually have the outer area of Dragon Pit warded, so it won't actually see into it, and you'll be able to steal without them seeing it. It's really strong, and I've seen a lot of professional teams do it. Like, I saw M5 do it one time ridiculously early. Anyway, his main strength is his pre-level 6 ganks when no member involved has their ultimates. It's because Lee Sin is just raw damage early on and absolutely melts anyone of lower ranks, even when he doesn't have his ultimate, because his abilities have such high ratios that it really doesn't matter, and the utility from his W, or not his W, his E is really good. The slow will generally help your laner to get in a range to deal their damage or have their form of CC get off. Post level 6, his ranks are still, or his ganks are still pretty good, but they're not as strong. And this is because a lot of people's ultimate abilities give them some form of CC, some defense boost, or some kind of something that increases their survivability. For example, a lot of top laners R's add to their survivability in some way, like Renekton's Dominus or Jax's Grandmaster's Might. The first route I'm going to show is called the Standard Route. The Standard Route refers to the route most junglers take when they want to be level 4 relatively quickly and also want to clear the entire jungle. It consists of you going from the most optimal ways for you to go from wraiths to blue, or not wraiths, I'm sorry, wolves to blue to wraiths to golems to red, and then back to wraiths, and that should give you level 4. But this route really isn't recommended for Lee Sin because his strength really lies in the early game and his early ganks. It catches people off guard if they're not expecting it, and it's generally just all around powerful. However, if you are new to Lee Sin or you're not runed correctly, say you don't have armor runes or whatever, then this is by far the safest route and gives you the most gold and experience without ganking. My personal favorite, the fast level 3 route gets you double buffed obscenely quickly very early in the match, and the only bad thing is this only works if you're on blue team due to the way that the jungle is arranged on the map. And you should be going boots with 3 health potions since it's such an aggressive route. I actually went cloth 5 in the video I'm showing you for whatever reason, and I really shouldn't have. For this to work, you need to start at Wraiths and go to red and have your teammates hit red enough for you to not have to use Smite, and then you go immediately to blue and you Q over the wall to increase your speed a little bit, and E and do whatever to get it down as fast as possible and use Smite there, and you'll be double buffed and level 3 after that. And after that, you can go top lane, and you'll either force their summoners or get first blood almost every time. But if that isn't an option, say they're pushed or whatever, you can actually go to the enemy's jungle and usually arrive before the opposing junglers even at his red. For most junglers, Lee Sin's going to be able to counter them pretty early on. There are only some that he can't do this to, but you can get first blood in the enemy's jungle too if you choose to do that. This is, in my opinion, by far the strongest route for Lee Sin because of the wide array of options in the extreme early game it provides. While just simply not as strong as Blue Team's fast level 3 route, the fast level 2 one is still a force to be reckoned with. Simply have a teammate help you leash just a little bit with Wraiths and red. I actually went cloth 5 health potions in this too. I don't know what's going on with past me. What a noob. Alright, well, anyway, you go directly from red to top lane, in most cases, or mid if you're feeling adventurous, and while there you should either get first blood or at least blow their summoners. At least that's for top lane. For mid lane it's kind of harder to gank. You could get first blood or blow their summoners like I said, or even both, as shown here. Anyway, enjoy the rest of this clip.
First blood.
Team fighting for Lee Sin is relatively straightforward, the only difference being how you play it during different phases of the game. In mid-game team fights, around 15 minutes at Baron or so, you'll be a primary damage dealer, and can be an initiator, where you want to target their AD carry and kill them as fast as possible. If not their AD, then their AP. In late game team fights, it'll be more about displacing the enemy and protecting your carry. You should be tanky by then, but you should leave the initiating to a true tank, such as Alistar or Leona. If you have no other initiators, you have to do it, so get defensive items.
Victory!
Ganking for Lee Sin is relatively simple. The main thing you need to remember with Lee Sin, however, is that you should almost never start it with Q. There are very few situations where you should start with your Sonic Wave into Resonating Strike because it has a chance to miss. Instead, what you should do is you should wait until you can either safeguard to a minion and immediately follow it up with Tempest and your slow, or you walk up straight behind them and apply your slow anyway, and then when they use their escape, say their flash or something, then you Q in after them. And you get first blood with this, or kill them or whatever stage of the game it's in, or you force their summoners. And in this clip, you see I got first blood just by simply waiting until I had the opportune moment to, and I know I just said not to start with Q, but in that case I kind of had to, because I didn't have W or anything to use, but there it is. In conclusion, Lee Sin is an extremely strong early and mid-game champion who can quickly snowball out of control if you let him. And it's really easy to do that with Lee Sin because his ganks are so strong, he has such early game damage, it's kind of hard not to get first blood or at least kill a few people. He works well in a lot of team comps, but he especially thrives if his lanes have some form of hard CC, as you saw in that clip I showed you where I got first blood on Nasus, largely due to Riven's stun, because she stunned him right after he used his ghost, and he had red buff and my E on him. He just didn't get out, and I was able to Q onto him and kill him, which is just an example of how strong he is early game. He can carry ranked games very easily. That's why I recommend him. The only bad part about Lee Sin is that if you're entirely new to him, he is kind of difficult to get used to. It takes you a while to learn all the tips and tricks, but you'll be able to use him pretty well after a few games. Anyway, my runes and masteries, item build, and what am I forgetting? Runes, masteries, item build. What the hell am I forgetting? Oh, no, wait. Shit, I don't know. But whatever else it is, it's going to be in the description below. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you liked it. All that stuff. And also tell me what you want to see next. I take all. God, I can't remember anything today. I take all recommendations into consideration. There you go. Anyway, it's been Quintessences. I hope this guide has gotten you just one step closer to getting that pentakill you've always wanted on Lee Sin. Peace out.